Okay, I think that worked, Barry.
Okay, sounds good, Katie. Thank you.
Mhm.
We're ready?
Okay, let me just check on YouTube real quick to make sure it's going, and then.
I'm going to go ahead and start it. The City of New Franklin Planning and Zoning meeting is hereby called to order at 6:30 p.m. Barry, would you please do the roll call?
Okay, Mr. Conley. Mr. Lowry is absent. Mr. Holloway.
I'm here.
Mr. Perdine.
Here.
Mr. Kroc. And Mr. Donatelli.
Here.
Okay, we do have 5 people here tonight. We do have a quorum.
All right.
You want me to go ahead and read?
You have a series of things to read, and then I'll read the public hearing notice.
Yes. This meeting has been duly advertised in the Suburbanite and the Southside News Leader weekly newspapers, as well as the City of New Franklin website and Facebook page. This meeting is governed under Robert's Rules of Order. All comments and questions shall be directed to Mr. Paul Donatelli, the chairperson of the commission, throughout the duration of this entire meeting. Please be advised the commission may or may not render a decision on the items before it this evening. Additional information may be required from the respective applicants, or additional information may be sought from the city engineer, city law director, or other sources in order to reach an informed decision.
Okay, I'll now read the notice of public hearing. The City of New Franklin Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a live stream public hearing on Thursday, October 29th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. from New Franklin City Hall, 5611 Manchester Road, New Franklin, Ohio, 44319, to hear the following request. 2020-PZC-03- City of New Franklin, 5611 Manchester Road, New Franklin, Ohio, 44319, requesting a textual interpretation of Article 5, Section 500.01, Matrix A through C, to determine if meat processing is considered a similar use under product processing as described within the aforementioned matrix category of industrial manufacturing facilities. Information on this request is available by telephone or email to the City of New Franklin Zoning and Planning Department. Telephone inquiries may be made at 330-882-4611, extension 220, or by email at zoning@newfranklin.org. If you intend to testify, you must notify our office on or before Monday, October 26, 2020. In addition, comments may be submitted by email on or before Wednesday, October 28, 2020, and shall be read as part of the official public record during the live stream public hearing. The public can access the live stream public hearing on the City of New Franklin YouTube channel. A link to the city YouTube channel may be accessed through the City of New Franklin Facebook page. All right. At this point, I would like to have the mayor speak on the project.
Oops. Thank you. Okay, you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you. First of all, I appreciate you folks, as always, being here. As it relates to this specific issue, the administration we're the ones who made the request we're making the request for this textual interpretation. The law director's memorandum does provide a pretty good summary. This involves the use of the Clinton Aluminum buildings over on Van Buren, and as you're aware, I think Clinton Aluminum was a tenant there, and is at the end of their tenancy, they built a new building over in Norton. So we're losing them as a business, and that's pretty significant to us. As an aside, it's not germane to the issues before you, but they're one of our top 4 or 5 tax people. So we've been anxious and hopeful we might find someone else to either as a tenant for that building or a purchaser. We didn't expect it to happen this fast. And it was very, we were really pleased. We were contacted by Mary and Dan Beers. They were going to try to join us, but I don't know if they've been able to do that yet. But
They're on.
Are they on? Okay, calling user, great. All right. So they met with us. and they told us what their plans were. They had previously acquired the what we all call as the Islamic meatpacking center over there on Center Road, and they purchased that, and they're in the meat processing business. They raise steer, they raise cattle, they process meat. And they were looking to expand the processing aspect of it, and so that's why they initially purchased a place over on Center Road. And very quickly they realized that this was an opportunity to do something much bigger, but they needed more space. And virtually almost right around the corner is Clinton Aluminum. So unbeknownst to us, they started conversations with the owner. They took a look at the building. They said this would really suit their purposes. They they have a similar operation in Akron, where they process the hogs. Out here in New Franklin, they'd be processing beef, I think, and sheep, and it's a full process all the way to packaging. So that was their operation, and we took a look and they wanted. I thought really quite responsibly on their part that they checked with us and made sure that they would fall within our zoning. And when we took a look, our feeling was, it's an I-2 district, as you know, for the heavier industrial and manufacturing, and the section in the matrix that talks about manufacturing products from the following previously prepared materials. And there's a list of some of those. It does not include, the beef and the steer, et cetera. So when we read it, we said, well, not to beg the issue, but it looks like it's in that category. It's just not specifically listed. And we went back, of course, to the matrix itself, which suggests when that's the case, if it's not specifically listed under subsection C of 500-01, then it's considered prohibited until we either amend the zoning code, or if there's an interpretation that the use is reasonably similar. Now, we could try to go through the process of amendment, but it certainly doesn't fit the timeline in terms of the plans that these folks have. Number one, and number two, I don't know that that we want to amend every time we have some kind of new use. So since as the law director, and we talked with Irv Sugarman, and he advised us that it was clearly within the authority of planning and zoning to consider whether or not this meat processing is reasonably similar to the uses that are already permitted in the I-2. We think they are. We're going to ask you to consider whether you agree. And if you do and you render that opinion, then, that resolves the issue. I will say finally that we were interested in the operation itself. And a couple of, I don't want to do all the speaking for the beers, but there's a lot of scrutiny, a lot of regulation in that industry that they're currently undergoing. They could tell you about that, but between the state government, the federal government, the Summit County Public Health, there's somebody on site daily at the facility that they operate right now. I think it's from USDA, but Mary or Dan could tell us. And then we wanted to get a look at, what they're doing in Akron, and Jennifer Six is with us, and she's, as you probably know, our economic development arm. And Jennifer visited the facility in Akron and was impressed. It was well done. It was top notch. There's 25 or 30 people working in there, getting that in order. So these folks are, by all accounts, we've done our homework, are really solid. And I think they're going to be a tremendous addition to our business community here. But initially, we need to see whether or not this board agrees that meat processing is reasonably similar to the uses that are currently listed in the matrix. So Jennifer's here if you had questions of her. I don't know whether we got Mary or Dan or both on the line. If you had any questions to them, they'd be available as well.
Yeah, we're both on the line, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Jeff, you listed next. If there's anything you'd like to add at this point?
I'm sorry, who'd you ask? Oh.
Everything else to add?
Oh, yes, thank you. Good evening, everybody. One of the things from an economic development perspective that we looked at with the exit eminently of Clinton Aluminum is what to put in that location. And knowing that it is not currently sewered or watered, and knowing that the Beers wanted to expand into that location, it really does seem like the perfect fit. It is off the beaten path and it is a good use. I met with the Beers up at the Acton facility. If you recall, off of Home Avenue, the Sumner Butter plant, they have purchased that and they are renovating that currently. And it's a great use for that. So in addition to the Acton facility, they would also be expanding into the new Franklin facility. This would be a new use and actually, to be honest, a fabulous generator of new jobs, especially for the new Franklin area. And we also plan to work with them on helping them with attraction for employees, because this does stand to gain a couple hundred employees when it's all up and running.
So at this point, ask any of the commission members, are there any members of this commission who must be or has any ex parte communications involved with this matter?
No.
Okay. Barry, are there any letters or emails that can be read into official public record?
No, we have not received any emails, nor have we received any requests to testify before the commission tonight.
Are there questions that I should read into the official record at this point? Can I read the memorandum for Sugarman?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and read this. Irv Sugarman is the city law director. This memorandum concerns your duties with respect to the special meeting of the City of New Franklin Planning and Zoning Commission, PZC, regarding Lady L Ranch Meats, LLR Meats. LLR Meats expressed interest in relocating its operations to the Clinton Aluminum Buildings located on Van Buren Avenue property. The property is located in the I-2 Manufacturing Historic District, pursuant to the City of New Franklin zoning code. The zoning code set forth permitted and conditional land uses in the land use matrix. The zoning code also states prohibited uses. If a use is not specified in section, it is considered prohibited until, by amendment, such uses are written into the regulations, or by interpretation of the Planning and Zoning Commission, such use is determined to be reasonably similar to other use permitted or conditionally permitted herein. PDC will be asked to determine whether or not LLR Meats proposed use is reasonably similar to the following. The following previously prepared materials: bone, canvas, cellophane, cloth, or fiber, glass, hair, or leather, plastic, precious or semi-precious metals or stones. Metal, except where presses are 20 tons rated capacity, are employed. Shell, textile, tobacco, wax, wood, where saw and planing mills are used with a completely closed building. Your determination involves a factual determination based on the information provided to you at the PCC meeting. The PCC has the authority to make this finding under the code that's been set forth herein. Okay. Do we have any questions or comments, members of the commission?
Mr. Chairman, I guess I wanted to pass along. It certainly seems like the list that you just read is pretty wide and varied, so it seems to me appropriate that this use would certainly fit into there as a similar use. I mean, it's pretty wide for sure.
I would concur. It's possible scenario. Things and this is under something similar that I questions. Any other people on the commission have questions?
I have a question either for Barry or Jennifer. Has this been mentioned at all to Myers Steel next door? And then, of course, we own some homes adjacent to that. Just to see what they're feeling about having that as a neighbor.
For a point of clarification, it's Martin Steel. Just to get that one right.
Mr. Burdine, we have not received any correspondence from anyone to saying they were either for or against this facility. So I know there's a new home going in across the street there, but I think the individuals building that home were well aware that there was an industrial facility across the street. I mean, that was not a surprise.
Excuse me, Barry. Mr. Pradine, this is Jennifer. We've also been in contact with Mr. Mark Podner. He's the current owner of the building. He's also the owner of the adjacent building, which is Clinton Machine. He is in favor of the project. He does not have a problem with it. If you talk to the Beers and you ask them the same question, if you can smell it, see it, hear it, you cannot. Everything will be enclosed. So we don't believe that there's going to be any cause for any concern.
Okay.
There won't be live cows being delivered and slaughtered, across the street from those people.
No, that will be.
Can I get, if you're not speaking, could you mute your mic? Because we're getting a lot of feedback here. So just mute until you are ready to speak.
Mr. Holloway, yeah, I believe that's part of the operation. And to what extent, how that's handled and where they would come into the building, I don't know the answer to that.
I imagine they have to bring live cows in. I don't think you can butcher them or kill them off property and take them to the processing plant. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. We can ask Mr. Beers to. Mr. Beers, you want to explain that part of the process? And I'm assuming that's what you're doing in your current location. And I guess ultimately then the question is, is that something that would give cause for concern in terms of disturbing the neighbors?
Well, the only neighbor that would be involved with that would be the guy right across the street that hasn't built a house. We are going to reach out to him to see if that lot would be available for purchase, and he could either get one on the extended part of the property. We might even be able to trade him some space there. But we do bring live cattle in. They're put into a housing facility that's enclosed, and they would be barns. And then they're run through a chute into a processing plant. But yeah, you do bring live cattle in. The factory itself is set over a hill and down in. So it would be hard to, I can't even see a house from there. And it would be hard pressed to have anybody hear anything or have it, affect anybody around that neighborhood, except for the gentleman across the street, which we were going to reach out to. But even with him there, he's so far back and we're so far away, I don't believe it would, I don't even think it would, there would be semi-traffic back and forth, but no different than what's there now. But it wouldn't affect him at all, in my opinion.
Can I ask a question regarding that? What kind of volume are we looking at? Because I don't really know how many semis are coming in and out of Clinton Aluminum at the moment, but I don't know what your plans are for processing these and how many head of cattle can be on a single truck.
Yeah, there's a large volume of traffic there now. It wouldn't exceed that. I'm guessing up to 10 semi loads a day. You put about 40 to 50 on a truck, and that would be 400 to 500 cattle a day.
Okay.
This would not be a small processing plant. It would be one of the larger processing plants in the Northeast Ohio area, and definitely in this part of the country. You have to go to Wisconsin, or you'd have to go to South Carolina to rival that. And I think it's a great opportunity for us, given that the plant is out of the way and it's in a great location. In this area, definitely with Youngstown, Columbus, Akron, Canton, they definitely need the production. So the work's here, the demand is here. If we can just find a facility big enough to process.
All right. Does anybody else have any further questions or comments?
No.
Is there any discussion among the members about what we're seeing in the zoning?
I would like to add one other thing in regards to the encroachment or the annoyance of the neighbors. We have four neighbors.
I'm doing this from quite a distance. Who is speaking?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Dan Beers.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Dan. I would just like to follow up. We have four neighbors within 100 yards. Some of them are only 40 to 50 yards from the current facility now, and they don't complain. So it's years ago there was a lot of negativity around an environment like this, but with with the way we're regulated by the USDA, we've got a vet on premises all the time, along with an inspector from the USDA. You have to run a clean operation, and it has to be right for you to have your license. So, you know, we currently have neighbors, and they're not complaining, and they're a lot closer.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
It's John Conley. I just my own thought on that area. I worked at the foundry probably 15 years and dealt with Clinton Machine. That area down there, I think it's a great opportunity for the city, and cleaning that place up down in there and putting a new facility in there with jobs is just a bonus. I mean, it's kind of run down, and it's been that way for a long time. So I think it'd be great not to have something empty down in there, and I just think we're better off with something there.
I concur.
Especially, you know, with trying to bring jobs in now and the city trying to, you know, move forward. It's a good opportunity for everybody, and they're already here in our area.
Right. Well, with that, I am willing to make a motion, unless someone else has something else they'd like to say before I do so. Okay, then I move that the meat processing is reasonably similar to the uses set forth in the New Franklin Zoning Code, Article 500.01 Land Use Matrix under Industrial Manufacturing and Facilities regarding product processing, and would therefore constitute a permitted use in I2 zoning districts.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Donatelli. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, who was the second, please?
John.
Oh, John. Okay, John Conley. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to do a roll call. Mr. Conley.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Holloway.
Yes.
Mr. Purdine.
Yes.
Mr. Kroc.
Yes.
And Mr. Donatelli.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes 5-0.
Wow, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Regarding our agenda, we have no further, anything else on our agenda to deal with. So I'm going to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Kroc. Okay, I'm going to do a voice vote on this. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
gentlemen, and
Thank you.
and Dan and Mary. We're looking forward to it. This is going to be good for New Franklin. We appreciate that you're coming here.
Well, we're looking forward to it also. Thank you very much to all of you there today. And
All right.
we're looking forward to growing in this community. We love it.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Mary. Yep. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mary. Yep. Bye-bye.